Man, I'm on this 303 baby timing, man. Hey, yo, Thriller, man, what we doing, gang? Hunters coming and make sure that paper going all around. I ain't trying to hit, I know these.
And welcome to the National Meat Treasure. Wait, hold on. What is the intro? Where's my brain? And welcome to the National Meat Treasure with your host, Sasha, a.k.a. Tiana Taylor. Okay. Shout out to her.
Who?
Tiana Taylor. She's married to a person you also don't know. It's a basketball player. What's his name?
Iman Shumpert.
Iman Shumpert. Those are the king and queen of black people. They're so pretty together.
All right. Since you went with a basketball player, it's Christian, a.k.a. Another person in the news, Zion Williamson, because Mans is having a bad time, bro. Mans is having a bad time. People really, you guys, I'm looking at the blank faces. I'm looking at the blank faces, and I guess you guys don't understand what's going on. So Zion is an NBA player who is currently, I believe, in Indianapolis, or somebody will correct me. But no, he's in Louisiana. Anyway, he has a baby coming. He's engaged, and there is a porn star who is coming out saying she got like sex tapes on him and that she's gonna drop them. And like at first I thought it was just kind of like, you know, like somebody just kind of being a little salty, like, you know, like this is what's going on. But like she's like full on tattletaling. Like at this point she's like tagging the NBA on Twitter. So whatever time she's on, bro, like that's like when people talk about a woman scorned, bro, that's a woman scorned.
Oh yeah, no, I actually heard about this because the baby mom is my friend's friend, the one who's pregnant now.
Shit.
So she was telling me about it, and like it's going down as the. I know a lot of people. I don't go outside, but I know a lot of people.
Are you connected? Are you connected to Jay-Z now? Like, did we already make that leap? Is that like, are you in the inner circles?
I feel like I'm six degrees of separation. Maybe not from Jay-Z, probably from Drake. I'm probably like 6 degrees of separation from Drake. I'd have to think about real hard about it.
Let's figure that out. And let's make it happen. Drizzy on the pod. I mean, I don't think he's gonna come on because Long Passionate Suck is still an episode.
Damn,
and,
that's a throwback.
That's a throwback. But sorry, to throw it back to my boy over here.
Oh,
there we go.
It is
bring it back.
Thriller from the 3, aka Joey from NMT, aka Thriller Lagerfeld, aka Tedros.
Was that a Karl Lagerfeld like reference in there?
Yeah, before Thriller Lagerfeld.
See, nerd recognize nerd. That's really what it is, bro. My infinite knowledge.
Who I really am is Tedros, who is the Weeknd's character and main villain of the show The Idol. Have either of y'all watched any of it?
I saw a clip actually, and I didn't know that was the context, because you know how, like, you know, clips can just come across your phone.
Yeah,
and it's somebody famous, right?
You
like,
thought it was The Weeknd.
I was like, what the fuck is this? It was mad funny because it the clip is just like this like very handsome man touching a very beautiful, attractive woman's like waist and like caressing her like her stomach, and he's like, oh wow. And like in a way, like that's like, all right, like I didn't know like that could be I guess the Weeknd's character's girlfriend. But The Weeknd was there and just looked like I guess what you would imagine if somebody was touching your girl like that and made that noise. Like The Weeknd literally just went up to him and like slapped him. So I was like, damn, like this is kind of a funny character. But now that I know that it's The Idol, that's
show.
What it's called.
Yeah, The Idol. Yeah.
I gotta watch this. Where's it on?
It is on Max. HBO's Max.
Cool. Because I was going to be tight if you were going to say something like Stars, because there's nothing in the world that will get me to do another Stars subscription. That is the most garbage streaming service. I'll stand on that.
Is there anything on Stars besides Power? I think it's not just Power, right?
That's it. Like, that's the thing. They've got no library.
Offshoots.
Yeah, they've got nothing. Yeah, all the offshoots, bro.
The Power Universe.
All the spinoffs.
The Power Universe.
The Powerverse.
The Powerverse. I like that.
The multi-powerverse. The multi-powerverse.
The 50 Cent verse. Yeah, I watched Power.
The 50 Cent verse. So Candy Shop exists in the same timeline as Power, because that's amazing. If that's happening,
I remember
canonically.
I got Stars just to watch Power, and like I think Power was on like season 2 or 3 at that point. Like I'm the kind of person where like I'm gonna wait a long time. It's pretty good, yeah. But it gets to the end, and the end they basically reveal that like if you want to know what like really happens and all the lore and all this other stuff, there's 6 other series coming out, and I was like, all right, I'm canceling Stars. I'm not about to pay for Stars for like 8 more months to see all these. Or actually, no, at this point, maybe 2-3 years. So I was like, Power was cool. It was really good. I got to see who get to see naked? The dark skinned one from 3LW.
I do not wait.
The group 3LW when we were kids.
Remember their names. I cannot remember.
Me either, but there was the dark skin one, the light skin one, and the medium skin one. The dark skin one plays.
I didn't realize that was her.
She's obviously like 20 years older now, so I didn't know either until like I was mad deep in. But there's a couple of really raunchy sex scenes with her in it, and that really healed my inner child to see those, because I had a crush on her in my 3LW days when I was 14.
I feel you,
That's
bro.
right.
I feel you.
Let's
like
look up that name
day that I see Megan Good taking some
flowers.
back shots, I think I'm good. Like I think I made it in life if I see Megan Good like taking back shots, like, you know, with consent, obviously. Like not
Notori Naughton is her name.
Right. That'd be crazy.
Notori Naughton, and she plays Tasha St. Patrick. There are like some. It's so funny because like the first 2 seasons or 3, there's like a lot of graphic sex scenes for no reason.
Wait, how many St. Patricks do you know as black people?
There's a lot of black St. Patricks. I forget. There's a historical reason why, and I cannot remember why. There is a historical reason. I know there is. That
sounds fictional.
I think it was like Irish and black people got married a lot, because Irish people, you know, Irish people when they came here, they came to New York.
Yeah, Irish people, you know,
so
they're
a lot of Irish and black people got married.
They're shitheads, but they're salt of the earth.
A lot of Puerto Rican St. Patricks too. I mean, yeah, a lot of Puerto Rican St. Patricks too.
That sounds crazy. You know what? You know, Cubans that are ginger are another genre that exists, and that was crazy. It was, you know, like I've always thought about that. Like when you meet, like, I guess what your dumb stereotype mind, like, you know, thinks of a person looks like from that area, and it's like somebody who subverts that entire expectation. It's happened to me a few times. Like when I met a Dominican that was like actually white, like a full white person, I was surprised. I had no idea. I didn't, like, when she dropped Spanish on me, I was like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, my name is Yanady. Like, I was, oh, you really are Dominican.
Yanady returns.
I didn't know.
Do you think Ice Spice is a St. Patrick somewhere in her bloodline? She's got to be, right?
Probably.
With that ass? Probably not, bro. Well, you know what?
You just don't get the ass and the black red hair at the same time?
No. I'm, as the children say, that's cap. Irish girls got that wagon, bro. And you know, shout out to you know, I know we don't shout them out, but you know, they really do got that wagon, and they were always the chillest when I was growing up. They were always the girls that would let me come over. Is all I'm saying. You know.
Speaking of, can we bring up a topic real quick? Does anyone ever go to Long Island? As a New Yorker, I was thinking about this today, and I just feel like if you're in the 5 boroughs, there's very little reason to go to Long Island. And like a lot of my friends have never been to Long Island, despite living in Queens.
Really?
Right on the same thing. So when was the last time you were in Long Island, and why? I have to know. And I mean, that made that segue because white girls in Long Island.
It's been a long time.
Because white girls in Long Island.
That's a good connection right there. And I went there probably a couple years ago. My Joni's aunt lives in Valley Stream, so that's kind of Long Island, but it's like in that weird area. But you know, when I was growing up, I went to Long Island all the time. I mean, between like Roosevelt Field Mall, the Tanger outlets, like all that shit that would just exist out in that area. That's the reason why we went out there.
That makes sense.
You, Joe?
Logical.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Long Island. A lot of people. Everyone in New York has family that lives on Long Island because
Montauk.
Long Island is just a place where a lot of niggas outside of New York can finally buy places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for real. Freeport. Like when you meet people that like, you know, on the edge and they're like, oh yeah, I live on Long Island. And I'm like, oh, is this? Yeah. I thought differently. Like it, you know, Long Island does have a lot of different tales. It is a lot like Staten, where people think like Staten's like, you know, like just these like white houses and, you know, nice little tight lawns and shit. And then like you run through like, you know, Stapleton or like whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. This can exist anywhere.
I feel like everyone has their days in Staten Island, because Staten's actually way cheaper than Long Island, way cheaper.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And you know, you have like ferry access. You gotta really work to get to Long Island. You know, there's no public transit that's gonna get you there in a timely fashion.
They've got their own railway. Like you gotta.
But there's a benefit.
Take a train to get to their train system. But no, of course, there's definitely a benefit. There's a benefit in living.
I mean, that's the closest outlet, I think, right, to the five boroughs is in Riverhead, Jersey. But like unless you want to pay a bunch of tolls, like going through the Garden
you're in a
State,
different state, you know,
which
taxes
is
and shit like that gets weird.
Yeah, you know, dumb weird shit. But my parents, you know, speaking of it, my parents used to go to Jersey all the time to avoid state tax for clothing, all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh hell yeah.
We would go to Ross, and I'd buy
Jersey
all.
Gardens.
My parents would buy all the irregular clearance shit. I had like a Sean John that had like a sleeve that was up here. The other one was kind of like 3/4 down, looked like a hockey jersey. That shit was crazy. I love that. Shout out to Ross and the tax free.
What do you think people visit more, Long Island or Connecticut? Those of the surrounding New York areas, or upstate, or Buffalo. Nobody's going to
Long Island.
Buffalo's deep.
No one's going to Buffalo. No one's going to Buffalo on purpose. Like nobody's going there willingly, unless like the only time I've gone through Buffalo is like to go to Canada, to go to Niagara Falls, and like that's a mistake. Don't do it. Like just land on the Canadian side every time. Like if you go through the border on the American side, it is just sad. Just don't do it. There's nothing fun. There's nothing nice. Like literally, you step right over the border, and it's like a fucking amusement park. It's amazing. I remember like stepping into the Canadian like side of like Niagara Falls, and like literally smelling waffle cones. I was like, "Am I in heaven?" Like it's like I just saw a black teenager get bit by a Great Dane. From a suspiciously racist looking white man owner. So there was only one tail that was coming up in my head. Like he did nothing to stop that dog from like fucking biting. And then we cross over waffle cones. So my brain has a lot of conflicting feelings about that area. Yeah, I'm not even joking. I wish that was like a complete lie. We were driving, my parents and I, and we were just like, you know, going across the border. We're driving through Buffalo, and we're stopped at the light, and we see this giant dog literally just attack this young black woman, and we're like horrified. We're about to jump out of the car, and then the guy finally comes around the corner, and he's pulling back his giant fucking dog. But like it felt intentional, is all I'm saying. And like the whole car understood it felt intentional. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not a good feeling. And then we got onto the other side, and there was waffle cones and the Ripley Believe It or Not Museum. So, you know, good day overall.
So you're
I got to see some guy.
Canada smells like waffle cones.
Waffle cones and weed, probably, at this point.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's like a whole, like if you're at the Niagara Falls, there's like a whole fair on the Canadian side. It's like amazing. A constant amusement park going up there. But literally the other side of it, the American side, is the hood.
Right. Yeah, it's destitution. It's truly like the decay of like our society. Like it's falling apart. It's just like Atlantic City. Like Atlantic City is just like, it never has changed in my head. Like I went there like a few years ago, and it's the same shit. It's just like, this is like, we're just.
I think Canada does it on purpose.
Poor people.
I think Canada sincerely does it on purpose because Windsor, Canada, nice as hell. It's across the water from Detroit. they do that on purpose.
They have to. Why wouldn't they? I mean, I would show out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's personally that's my viewpoint. Canada does it. It's got a few things right, except for how to treat their indigenous people. So, shout out to that.
I feel like prostitution is also legal in Canada in some parts.
Is it?
Did I make that
That's
up?
crazy.
I feel like it's either prostitution or gambling is legal in like Montreal.
That sounds cool. Both, maybe both are. Montreal is cool, and Quebec because they have a law, if I remember, that if you're answering any kind of phone in Montreal and you're not like a private citizen, you have to answer it in French first.
That's a weird law to uphold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, like if you call a hotel, like they're gonna go, bonjour, and then they wait for you to, continue the conversation, and decide how to carry it on from that. But yeah, that's a real law. I remember that very vividly. I don't know why, but it's
the phone. Bonjour.
Bonjour. It's your boy.
Selling sex in Canada is legal, but the purchasing of sex is illegal in all circumstances, according to the first thing that pops up in Google.
Wait, so it's not illegal to be a sex worker, essentially, but it's illegal to buy a sex worker.
It's illegal to be a sex customer.
Bro, that's why you buy 100 roses. That's why you buy 300 roses.
I feel like it means like don't.
That's Canadian, right? Like,
do this shit outside. Sense. Like like don't get caught.
I think if you call it a donation, or you set up the camera in the corner, you could definitely just say that it's OnlyFans content at this point.
I feel like, obviously, I think prostitution as being illegal is dumb because it takes away our bodily autonomy. But also, like, there's so many loopholes around prostitution that it should just be repealed anyway. Like, literally, if you want to be a prostitute in America, you just put on your website, hey, I'll hang out with you for 24 hours for $5,000. Yep. Boom. There you go. Yeah. Or done. Yeah. I don't know. Just peel the laws back. Not to mention the fact that there's OnlyFans girls who make hundreds of grand a month that are not even cute. Like just regular looking white women
very specific.
Make $120K a month. We might as well just peel back the laws and let it happen. And it's not even like, because you know what I mean? It's like most of the laws in this country benefit either the people or the powers that be, right? So for example, the war on drugs was pretty much fueled by racism, right? But like, there's not a ton of people still getting arrested for prostitution because there's no whores in the corner anymore. Like, this is very
right.
People have I've seen girls with their escort website up in their Instagram. So it's not people are not getting arrested for this anymore.
Everybody's going on their All My Links or personal
there's no
prison
The prison industrial complex is not fueled by prostitution at all. So you might as well just give it up.
We say that, and then we go there, and it's drugs and prostitution, and we didn't consider both overlapping. Well, that's the reality there.
That's
a little dark.
That's a little dark. No, it's not. Sorry, we're not talking about none of that. We're just talking about selling a little bit of pussy. You know what I'm saying?
A little pussy.
I'm just saying they got
pussy, little dick. Where all the male gigolos at?
Ain't nobody trying
about
to pay
that
for
recently.
no dick.
You sure?
No, they definitely are. Dick? They definitely are. It's
some
definitely
good
worth
dick?
It. Yeah.
Especially if you're gay.
You know what I think it is?
Or
I don't think
not hung
as
up
many
on that?
It's not even like people wouldn't pay for dick. People, I think the thing about prostitution is as a lot of men are taught to be powerful. And a lot of men are not powerful. So they get to use prostitution or to overpower someone. A lot of these people don't just fuck. They do weird shit to prostitutes. They don't just fuck them and keep it moving. They degrade them. They fucking just the act of here's $20, get in my backseat, bitch. Like makes a man feel powerful. Women don't want to feel. Women really don't have that desire to feel powerful over a man, so they don't. They want a man to take care of them, but you want that from someone you give a fuck about.
Yeah. And you know what?
You want to be fucked by someone who cares about you and who looks good and who's genuinely interested in what you're saying because you're surrounded by men who are not. You're constantly surrounded by men who don't give a fuck about you and are ugly.
there's this show called American Gigolo, and it has John Bernthal in it, and he's playing this a gigolo, right? And he's being, his time is being bought by this very wealthy woman. But obviously, like, maybe it's dramatized or not, but it kind of makes sense, like where they go with it, and how, like, it's not just that he's like, like a good looking person and he's got a big dick or he can fuck well. It's also that he's like sensitive, and that he's able to kind of listen to them and, like, do think, like, one of the most mind-blowing things, and this is just like how, like, the male mind, I think, is wired, is he's sitting there and they're having this, like, very open and honest conversation. And, like, I think it was kind of jarring in that first place. And he starts, like, painting her toenails. And I'm, like, not really thinking much about it. And, they're talking about, I guess she's talking about her husband, who she's cheating on with this gigolo, and that she's going to be leaving. And he asked her about, like, this, has he ever done anything like this? Does he ever paint your toenails? And it was like a simple thing, but, like, I guess that connection sometimes gets lost. Like, that idea that, like, doing something romantic definitely doesn't always have to be, leading to something that seems, I guess, masculine in a way. Like, it's being kind of open and vulnerable. And sensitive towards, and that's hot to people, like. Yeah. And I was, like, turned on. I was like, John Bernthal, paint my toes.
Jesus, that's hot to me.
Paint my toes, bro. I was blushing. But no, for real. Like, I think that's a really important thing to do. And, like, I did that with my wife, like, right after, because it was a good reminder. It was like, hey, like, be romantic in these different ways. They're like, don't just slap her ass. I mean, that's great. She likes that too. But, like, if you express these moments of, like, sensitivity and openness and connection and communication, bro. Everything else kind of goes up from there.
That's the patriarchy talking, because in your mind, in this, well, not in your mind, but in this piece of media, you had the male gigolo. He's just painting toenails and listening to her. A lot of women want to get fucked though. Yeah.
No. At the end, he does have a good dick. But see, the thing is that he has those other qualities, but he also expresses this side. So I think. Exactly, like he's actually listening to her, and he's actually hearing what she wants, and so so then when he has these moments of like sexual like tension, it's like it's connective, right? Because it's like he knows what she wants, like if she wants to be like thrown around and like really fuck, or she really wants somebody that's like gentle and kind, like I guess that active of you like maybe kind of like actually listening to a woman is like mind-blowing, right? Like that's the patriarchy talking right there, where I just went like, wow, a woman communicates.
Yo, so let me ask you. No, go ahead.
Could you imagine like being a woman, you pay for a prostitute, and you know what you look like, you're not a good-looking woman, but you decide to finally like pull, it's been a while, you ended up on some weird site at 3 a.m. You saw a guy who looked good, and you're thinking, fuck it, I'm going to pull the trigger, You pull the trigger, you fucking swipe your card. Dude shows up. You thinking, fuck it, he's probably not going to show up. He's probably not going to be... Dude shows up, looks good, smells good, deep voice, fucking speaks French, and then he can't get hard for you? I feel like if I was the woman, that is why I would not do male prostitution.
If you profess, you profess. You know what you got to be prepared with, bro.
Right.
You're not going to go into the situation.
What do you think a real professional male gigolo, right? What is his bag of tools for work every day? And what precautions does he have to take? Like, because if you're a gigolo, you got to know that at some point shit can go left. You can get caught by, her man. You might have to keep that thing on you. You're carrying a lot of cash. You may be licensed to carry.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. Maybe that thing on you is your dick, and that's all you got with you in this life, and you just jump out of a window. Who knows, bro? Maybe that's why male gigolos aren't. We don't have as many in the multiverse right now.
That thing on you is your dick. So if her husband catches you, you just fuck him, dude. Just
Bro,
have sex with
wouldn't
him
you
right
be
there.
way more intimidated? Wouldn't you be
pull it
way
out,
more
smack
intimidated?
him around.
Like you come home to your wife getting like really just like throated. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to kill this guy. And he goes, no, I still got enough hard dick for you. And it becomes a different situation really quickly.
Well,
Do you enjoy it, though?
Now that's rape.
Trigger warning, damn it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you described it.
I described it, but I alluded to it, sir.
I forgot.
alluded.
It's like an
yeah.
algorithm.
I feel like as a male gigolo, you got to have on you in your bag. You got to have a weapon,
right.
which is pretty hard if you're in New York. You can't even have a gun. That sucks.
Right.
Then you got to have. I feel like toys. But then I feel like if you break out toys, the girl is gonna be like, "Nigga, who did you use those on?"
Good cock ring. A good cock ring.
Good cock ring. Got to have your pills of some kind. You keep your shit intact.
Definitely. Please don't chew on blue chew. It's still the worst flavor in the world.
But I feel like if I was a woman and a dick went soft on me that I was paying for, because I think women always think that like your boner is attached to them somehow. Like most times in my life where I've had a soft dick, it was not had nothing to do with the woman. I was just either in my head, and I think it happened to me twice, and it was just in my head in the moment.
You could be
It had nothing to do with the girl.
You could be tired. You could be just exhausted that day. Maybe you had a stressful day. Maybe you beat your meat too much earlier that day. Well, it could be anything. It could be anything. It has sometimes very little to do with a woman. Yeah, if
Can
you
we
beat
just back
a
up
little
real
too
quick?
much,
If you beat it off, because I was listening to something recently where a
it's
guy
not happening to me. But I
we've talked about this.
I
Like
feel
the grand Sosa of cocks. You never get soft ever in your life.
wow. No, it's no. Listen, no. I need assistance, man. I use the blue chew to help me get to that level. So listen, we all could use a little. There's a degree of improvement for everyone. So don't.
But have you ever suffered from beating off too much? And also, what is too
I
much?
guess being it painful. I guess being it painful, like if it's too many times, and then you go.
Like I'm saying, weird, right? So like, how many times a day do you have to jerk off to have a less quality erection in that same evening?
Why don't we do some science then? Let's do a hypothesis. Everyone goes home and jerks off and waits till
Because I was asking this because I was listening to a podcast recently where these women were talking about like because they were talking about erections and I'm like no woman in this room has a dick. One of them used to fuck Bobby Lee, so clearly she doesn't know anything about good dick. But they were like just talking about dicks and they just had no idea what they were talking about and about erections, and then they were like, oh, it's not my fault if he jerked off too much and can't get it up now. And I'm just like, I don't think I've ever. If I jerk off, the more I jerk off, the harder dick I get, just because I've been absorbing sexual material all day.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think after like 5 or 6 times.
That's what I was thinking. Like 6 times, you really wear yourself out. But like,
but 6 times in a day means like
you're going
have
through
a job.
something. Yeah. Also that.
You're dehydrated at 13.
If you jerk off 6 times in a day, you don't have a job. You have a problem. Like not being able to get it up that later that night. That's not even that's the bottom of the barrel list of your worries. The fact that you had a whole day to do this.
If you're jerking off 6 times a day,
reach that low.
There is no getting it harder for later. Like that. Those people who are doing that, they're not in a position where.
Because they're doing it at 7 a.m. They're doing it at doing it at like 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. And that's it, bro. There's nothing else. Like
you got issues.
Not women. Yeah,
you got issues if you set an alarm to beat off.
I almost used to do that, but it was we talked about this before.
Explain.
BT Uncut.
Oh, that makes sense.
Waiting up at 3 a.m. But that wasn't like setting an alarm for it. That was like a date.
Gotcha.
Like,
bro,
you're just like painfully aware of the time that shit came on.
It was crazy. I started to just wake up at that time after a while.
Yeah, think about this. Sasha and I'm not sure if you're
before the cinematic soft porn back in the day.
All of a sudden, 2:45, I'm constantly waking
Channel?
up. Like the fuck.
the Spice Channel, like hookup, just like catching a titty in the wave, like when
just catching a titty in the wave,
the CRT wave, and you go, oh, I saw titty, I saw dick and pussy. Oh shit! Like that's the best thing. That was honestly, that's got to be the highlight of my life at that point. Like, you know, like when I catch that at
No, you know what the dark times of the Spice Channel were? When you watched it for way too long without seeing a titty. Like if you blow by it and you're on the channel for like 9 seconds and see a titty, that's great. If you're there for like 15 minutes just staring at static, you have an issue. The homework is not getting done. The homework was not done.
We've all been that down bad. Just stop it. Like, why are you calling everybody out like at the same time, bro? Everyone's been.
I didn't
down
have the
bad.
Spice. Like, I didn't have like the connection. Like, I think Spice was like a different cable. I had like Time Warner,
Same.
so it was like
I
not
I
on
never
there.
did either.
We had
I
like
never had
paper.
Spice.
Like there's porn, but it was all pay per view. There was no blurry channels.
Yeah.
You had to get illegal boxes. That was the thing. You guys
I
were paying
seen
for
the
it.
blurry channels in Colombia, and with that,
Yo,
you know, it was always 4 seconds in, you're seeing an ass or a nipple, because they're just wild out there. So I didn't
are
have
wild.
I never had the opportunity to really try and stare at static for 15 minutes.
bro.
You know what's crazy about Spice Channel? I mean, I obviously, like, you know, we all know like the porn industry like does have like a dark side to
Sure.
it. But like, I feel like if you were doing porn in like the 90s, early 2000s, and like kind of before like the big wave of the internet, if you felt like a good company to work for, you had to be living it up. Like, no one was seeing you. You know what I mean? No one was seeing you because nobody had the Spice Channel. And even if
Right.
they did, it's not like they can go, oh, I'm going to look up Jessica from high school. No,
Right.
they're just going to fucking, like, no one was going to randomly
Milky
bump into your
cannons.
content ever.
Right.
And people were
Yeah.
more shameful back then. So it's, even if they did
Right.
bump into your shit, who are they going to tell? There's no social media. And like,
Right.
who are they gonna tell? Like, oh
Way
man,
less
I'm gonna tell my 3
communication.
best friends that I was jerking off for hours, so many hours that I finally bumped into some girl we knew 3 years ago. Like, you were just like, there was no finding you, there was no tracking you down. So
Yeah.
I'm sure most of the porn industry got like, you know, really bad deals back then. People didn't read their contracts, but I'm sure there was like a ton of women who like got off real swell. And nobody ever even knows who they were. There's probably just like some woman like who like invested her money, like bought crypto in 2001.
Hopefully,
and like,
hopefully.
and just
That's
and just
exactly
fucking like is
what
just living
happened.
in like some New York high rise and no one knows how she's rich.
That's exactly what happened. We all know that. There's somebody that like is in the Upper West Side.
I saw
living
one
that
porn
exact
where
life.
this girl clearly was not getting paid correctly though. So probably the first porn I ever watched. It was so bad, dude. It was I think I talked about my method on this pod before, but back in the day, if you would order, you could order the pay-per-view porn on the TV with a remote, and if you canceled it in 45 seconds, it was just canceled. So basically, I would just sit there beating off for 45 seconds, try to finish, cancel, go back. I think you do that like
crazy.
10 times before like they wouldn't allow you to buy it again. But
What were you picking? What were you picking?
well, I'm getting to the first one. The first
Anal
one I think I
assassins?
ever watched. Well, first of all, picking is out the window. You only have like,
Yeah.
the 4 channels with the porn on it, so you gotta like pick.
You're
They're
getting
all
what
just
you
playing
get.
some random. You know, there was no themes on either end of these channels. It's not like this channel was black and this channel was Latina and this channel was Pog.
Sure.
You know, it was just sex channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're just
With
all playing
Latinas.
random shit
With-
at random times.
And it's not black. It's ebony.
Ebony, you're right. The ebony category. But the first one I watched wasn't ebony category, and you can definitely tell this girl was like, you can tell she was at work, dude. Like, it was bad. Like, I hit the button, and then I just see her getting. I think it was 3 dudes. I think she was bouncing on one dick. Everybody was super dark skinned in the room. 7 pairs of Timbs. Fucking just, she's sucking off the 2 dudes while bouncing on one dick, and then she keeps like kind of like just like she definitely like has a cold. And I'm just like, and like at the time I was like, maybe that's what it's supposed to sound like, because at that time I was like, what, 14 and never had my dick sucked before, you know. I didn't, but I was like, that doesn't seem appealing, so I hit cancel. I just didn't go back to that. I didn't go back to that at all.
I get it.
And it's so crazy because I don't remember any of the other porn I watched in that era of my life but that one.
Wow.
Scarred me a
It
little
did
bit.
something. It did
Like, she
something.
like wiped her nose. She definitely had like the flu and was just on set.
Can you imagine
making
sucking
it
a
happen.
dick with the flu? Sucking a dick with the flu?
No way.
Could you imagine
Getting
sucking
the
a dick?
chills.
I don't want to.
Sucking a dick with bronchitis.
Can
bro,
you
shut
imagine
up.
Sucking
Was
a
it?
dick with the flu?
With bronchitis. Can you imagine just doing it with pneumonia? Like just sucking dick
I
with
feel
pneumonia.
like-
There's somebody who's done it.
Have I ever eaten pussy? I don't think I've ever eaten pussy while I was sick, but I would love to.
Oh, I have. I'm 10 years of marriage. I've eaten pussy while I was sick.
I feel like that would make it so much better.
No, it did not. I
kind of have an out of body experience when I'm performing oral sex. I'm very, like I told you, we've gone into my mental issues. My brain is always over the place. I feel like I'm not busy enough. I can't relax when I'm fucking. Oh, it's head empty, no thoughts. It's
You have an
I'm
out-of-body
trying to think about other
experience?
things during sex.
If you have an out-of-body experience while you're sick, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Don't go back
Just
to
give
the
me some
body,
work.
bro. You gotta chill.
That's fine.
Imagine having like an asthma attack on some pussy.
Damn, man, that's rough. That'd be
That's
fucked up.
crazy. Thank
No
God I
one's
don't
loved
have
me
asthma.
enough to fuck me while I'm sick. Honestly, like there was no one to take care of me. I just had to
Right,
thug it out
right.
on my
Really?
own. Also,
Right.
I'm only sick like once every like 2 years. So
Come
Right.
on, bro. Nobody's ever taken care of you and sucked your dick.
while I was sick, no, but I don't get sick.
That's like really criminal. I mean, that's one of the nicest things somebody could do for you. Like when you're sick, like suck your dick. Like, or when you don't feel good, like when you feel like mopey.
See, I
And
don't
they
think
just
you
go,
can just play that off
Wop,
as like
wop, wop,
typical.
wop.
Like, I don't think you could just be like,
Wop,
yo, that's typical. Everybody gets some good top to make them feel better, because that's not a reality I live in, and I would surely like to live in that reality.
But maybe you need to make that your reality, and that's what's wrong.
I also don't
Yeah,
get
but you're
sick
not
that
like
much.
you're not like a sexual person. Like I can't imagine you like having like the flu and being like, oh, I could use some fucking nobbins right now. That's not you. That's not your body.
Actually, sometimes
I feel like you'd be
it
like,
just
can you like
works.
get off me and like get me my keyboard and some chicken stew? Like I just want to make
No.
beats and feel the warmth of the
Thriller?
broth.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No, with a tea, with a good tea, with a good tea.
when I'm sick, I
What
just
tea
wanna,
you drinking?
It takes me out of my modes. I don't want to do any of the things that I love. It sucks.
Wow.
I just gotta shiver
Yeah,
my
no.
ass.
Getting
through
sick
it.
is ass. For
Yeah.
real. This whole winter spent was with these like two children. Well, my son's in kindergarten and he just graduated. So shout out to Jackson finishing his first year of school.
Whoop, whoop.
My man didn't come home with one test that wasn't 100. So super proud of the boy.
Wow.
And yeah, it was actually really cool.
Applause.
He did really good this year, and I don't know where I was going with that, but I just got really happy. I don't know why. I just got really distracted by that.
My
whole
ghetto
train
ass
of
brain.
thought.
I thought you were gonna say he didn't come home with not one black eye. He's street certified.
No, he's actually not. He's a very sensitive, sweet boy. Please don't pick on him. He'll say, "Please don't do that." That's who he is. Please don't do that. I mean, the boy. I've tried, but he's not gonna throw mitts. He's not gonna throw mitts. He thinks it's like ridiculous. Like he goes, "Why would I do that?" I was like, "Dude, but you watch people's heads get chopped off all the time. Like, you know, he watches like Among Us. He plays Among Us, and it was like you see these cartoon animals kill each other. See, watch Garden of Banban or fucking whatever his new fucking.
Didn't you say he was in like wrestling
or
or something recently?
well, I was trying to get him into wrestling, and he said no. Like
he
he
didn't
put
like it.
He was like, I really don't want to.
Listen,
I really
buddy.
don't
Listen,
want to,
buddy.
Dad.
You
I
got
was
to
like,
you got to put the brakes on it because he doesn't have that testosterone pumping through him yet.
Do you know what it is?
remember? Like, do you like? Is it was
Do
it
you
just
want to
me
know
or
what
like?
it is? Can I be
I
honest?
feel like I sincerely remember. Oh, go for it.
I'll be honest. Once he said that, I used it and said, okay. Because once they sent me the team schedule and it was like 5 a.m. meetups, like two hours away from the house.
No, sir.
5 a.m. meetup at 2 hours in State College, bro. Like they were like, oh yeah, go to Harrison. So I was like, I don't even know where these places are at. Why? Because
He's a
for years they had it at the high school, which is only 15 minutes away from me. For years, that same year, they decided to throw everything else, any match, away from the school, which was
Okay,
fucking terrible.
but this brings me back to a point I made on this pod maybe 40, 50 episodes ago.
Discipline.
Dude, do not invest too much in your children too early. All right.
Right.
Take it easy. It's a breeze raising him right now. You don't want to get tuckered out when he's in his teens and he's pissed off and angry, and you live in the woods, dog. He's going to have all the, and this brings me back to what I was going to say. Do you remember how much fucking energy you had? Like, do you remember that turnover at puberty? Because I had a turnover, dude. I remember I wanted to fight all the time and did. I wanted to fuck everything and I didn't even know what fucking was. And if somebody would have said, hey, like get into sports real quick, that's what I needed back then. So you just hold off, because right now I say, listen, we'll have this conversation again in what, like 10 more years, 9 more years. You better drive to those 5 a.m. meetings, because by you there's nothing to do but drugs. So you better drive. You better save your energy now and take them to those 5 a.m. games 2 hours away.
I'll do that. As long as he ends up being something cool. I don't know. He's a sweet boy. he's really like not. He's a gamer. He's very nerdy. He loves flowers. He talks about science all the time. He told me he wanted to make robots today. That's who he is. Like that. He likes math. And bro, I didn't do anything.
Listen. You know who you're describing right now? You know who you're describing right now? You're describing me at that age, baby. Look how I turned out. I used to love Connects and my Legos. I wrote poetry and I would read Johnny Tremaine, nigga. Like, and now I'm out here insane and violent. So, all because of this testosterone brimming through me.
Banging and clanging, as they say.
Well,
no,
I used to draw sad anime characters. Now I want genocide, all right? Because nobody took me to wrestling matches at 5 a.m.
Nobody.
Okay?
He doesn't draw sad anime characters. He does draw really nice portraits of himself and sons. It's really sweet. Like we got like a frame picture that he like did a self portrait, and it actually had like his blue eyes and his blonde hair, and I was like, all right, this is like the moment you became like self-aware and sentient. Like you just saw yourself, and I was like, that's a weird thing. Like you like from something that used to just shit in your lap all the time to something that can draw a self-portrait. Kids shit in your lap, bro. They're in a diaper. Okay, don't be fucking lewd over here. But they do shit.
And that diaper shitter will one day be a blonde, patchy bearded teenager ready to kill. Be prepared.
Murdering deer by hand in the woods.
He's like, I fucking hate you, Dad. I want to go back to my Viking tribe.
He just starts working on running on all fours, and I'm like, son, what are you doing? I'm practicing, father. Practicing.
I'll probably just be in his room on. Actually, by then he'll be in his room on VR porn on the little Apple headset.
It's just gonna be a contact lens. You know that, right? There ain't gonna be no headset. Why would there be a headset? We would actually figure out how to do contact lenses with heads. Why wouldn't
in 9 years?
That?
You think?
Hell yeah, bro. I mean, we came up with.
Cool. I think by 9 years we'll get a single eye patch. I don't think we'll get.
How long has it been since we had smartphones? 2012.
But I mean,
smartphones, not Blackberries.
The iPhone came out. I was in high school, so like, the first one was in what, 2007.
Yeah, but do you remember the first iPhone? Nobody was like when iPhone started hitting the market, when it was like iPhone 4, iPhone 5, when it was like at that point, like everyone had a smartphone in their hand. Yeah, right. I think 2012 was when we saw. So we're going from like a handheld device that could have your music on there. You could text message people. You could receive email. I mean, businesses were adopting this everywhere. To now, we've got like fucking panoramic fucking 3D and cars that can drive themselves. So I'm telling you, it's not going to be that crazy of a leap 9 to 10 years from now that we've got contact lenses with like, porn in them.
I don't think we're getting lenses. Because, I mean, I'm looking up the iPhone 5, and it still looks like an iPhone. They just, in the last decade, all they've done was, like, get rid of the button.
You say that.
I'm not saying the iPhones aren't more capable now, but I think as far as, like, the form, form goes, I think we're still going to have goggles, maybe, like, sunglasses. Bro, maybe, like, they'll be integrated into your, like, day-to-day glasses.
Do you know, like, I was watching this movie called Blackberry, and I know you're going to make fun of me because I watch just anything, and it's because I do. I really just pick anything random. And but it was a fascinating movie. It was like actually like really like fascinating because it's this entire like look in a dramatic way of BlackBerry and its ascension, right? So like how it went from, you know, just coming up with modems to, you know, being able to figure out how to send emails and not be on the server all day. So they went from like having like, you know, a few tens of thousands of customers on a certain like phone line to having millions of customers. So like when a device can enter into a market and disrupt it so much that millions upon millions of dollars are flooding in, like literally, if you remember, like the Sidekick was a great innovation, right? We had keyboards and whatnot, but when the iPhone dropped and people were like, wait, where's the keyboard? And people were still talking about like, oh, well, you know, I got a T9 on my you know, dial pad, or, you know, I use BlackBerry Messenger and I have this fucking really satisfying, like nobody gives a fuck about any of that shit at this point. And when I type on keys because I have a keyboard, but there's literally no reason. Like if like my kids do this. Like when they touch things, they like shoot, like they you know, like they like go scroll through things like automatically, like they don't understand, like they touch my computer screen and try to do that, like they go, Daddy, why is
It's funny how we almost evolve. We almost
it's
evolve.
it's not touchscreen, son. Oh, okay. My daughter does it too, just instantly. It's just a difference, like what their generation's going to look like. I think there's already like one example. If you go ring, 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 pick up the phone. I'm being serious. Pick up the phone. Show me how you pick up the phone. Okay. You know how somebody does it under the age of 30? Just like this.
You still hold the phone the same way.
No. Adults like us will do it like this. Ring, ring, pick it up. But I'm telling you, you see toddlers do it all day. My toddler does it. She goes, ring, 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 and she puts her hand up like that. My son did it too.
That's crazy.
And there's this phenomenon of children because they've only ever seen us. When's the last time you've seen a phone on a hook?
I mean, is it a phenomenon or is it just evolution? You know,
it's evolution, but it is a phenomenon, right? Like it's something that we're experiencing all as a collective conscious, right? Like we're saying like, holy shit, on social media, my kid, like when somebody pointed that out to me, I was like, that's fucking weird. Like that's really strange. And like do that to somebody that's pretty young, you know, who's probably never seen a receiver, who's never had to dial anything, who's never had to do a rotary phone. Like, bro, a rotary phone. You put that in front of anyone that's like 15 and under, and they're going to look at you like you're mad. They'd be like, what is this ancient device? What? Yeah. Who are you? Who are you? Are you?
So here's a scenario, right? Here's a scenario. You've been kidnapped by some kind of serial murderer, and, you know, you're locked in a basement, and there's like a window and he's gone out to work, and you're like, you see someone, you're trying to get someone's attention, and like because of our age you go, call for help, call.
He's like, what?
And they're just like, I don't know what the fuck that nigga's doing.
He's like, all right, dude,
and then
bro.
Why is it his pinky in his thumb out?
Like, or would they get it if you were like,
bitch,
call for help, call for help,
and just like put your hand against your head? Well, this is not how anybody holds a phone. I don't know. The palm on your ear is not how anyone holds a phone. It's
bro, pick up your phone. Well, we can't, right?
Or it's like this. It's like in front of you.
What do you do? Is
I mostly talk on speaker.
You go, what's up? Come on, bro. Why are you talking on? You're one of those? Are you really one of those? Like calling on speaker, bro? That's in public. Are you doing this?
I understand why
people
do
private
that.
Home?
I understand why people do that.
I don't accept calls in public.
That's facts.
Okay, that's okay.
You know what's funny though? You bring this now that you bring it up. I have a gripe, especially, and I feel like you might my vibe with me here as a super TV watcher. I hate when I watch a show and it takes place in like the now and like somebody just shows up at somebody's house. I'm like, why didn't you text them first? You know, like this is how we do in real life. Like you can tell people in their 40s are still like writing TV shows.
I'm downstairs. Who uses the intercom? Like, unless the intercom has to buzz you in, nobody's touching that.
Right.
Like, what mad person? Like, you're gonna literally just go like, unless you literally have to go buzz so they can go buzz, you're just gonna text that person, I'm here. Like,
yeah,
let me in. You fucking
like I even
savage.
get mad a little bit when like there's moments where like people call each other and I'm like, I know no real life person would call this situation. They would send a text and get back to what they were doing. Or like I think I watched something recently where a girl was like on a date with a guy and then like wanted to get out of the date, so she like went to the bathroom and said, "Hey, call me in 5 minutes." And then
that's
but
dumb.
like you would send a text, and I know because I've sent that text
without going to the bathroom, like right
you
then.
You could have texted all that, but then you know what,
exactly.
Bro? You know we underestimate the cringe of men. The cringe of men is that men will definitely just look directly at that phone, and maybe that's what she was trying to save herself.
Maybe.
Don't know why she decided to call. I get why she went to the bathroom is what I mean.
But nah, I hate that in TV when somebody just shows up somewhere or they act like they were especially when they do the thing where it's like you ever watch TV and it's like they do the thing where they show the text bubble. So it's like phones and iPhones exist in this universe and texting is a regular thing they do in this universe. Why did the next episode later they were like, I have to go and show up there unannounced? Like, no, that's not a thing you do. No one shows up anywhere unannounced.
Can we get rid of that as a plot device also? Like, I hate when like TV or movies use that as a plot device. Like, all of a sudden they're gonna show all the text messages. Like, bubble? All right, that's not drama. Like, you don't get to insert anxiety.
Now I just gotta
by
read
like
this
delaying
shit?
The message. Like, oh, this is just
see,
corny.
here's the thing.
Like,
that's
how we communicate.
That's why we're back
acting.
We're both sides of the argument now because you're like, that's not a plot device, and I'm like, well, that's life. That's how you do things.
Right.
Either just don't have the text bubble there at all and act like phones don't exist in this universe, or have it and make it real.
What? No. What I'm saying is, I don't need it on the screen, right? You could just.
I need it on the screen.
Fuck. Like,
well, because if it's not on the screen, how do you know? You know, then they have to do some crazy reaction every time. But how do you know what's happening with what they read if they don't put the bubble?
That's
on the
why
screen?
it's called acting, bro. You got the coffee cup test. Do you guys know about the coffee cup test?
Yeah, when you hold the coffee and act like it's hot even though it's empty.
Exactly. You got to act like you're fucking getting a text message, bro. Like you can be like, oh shit, like
okay,
ding.
But
or
now,
you just pretend like you hear it.
No. But now explain to me how the audience knows the context of the text message.
Well, I guess we can allow the "I'm here" text, but if we're gonna go further than that, we're really gonna have to abandon all of that, bro. Like,
you know what I do like though?
Worth it.
You might not agree with me, but you know what I do like when they show the text on screen and then it'll be the character sending a text and then you'll just see like the bubble pop up with the ... and then it'll see it disappear. And like I love that because it shows that we all have that same feeling.
That's
and
very
it wasn't
real.
just me. It
That's
wasn't just me.
That's very
Oh my
real.
god! And
very
the fact that
real.
it's so funny because like.
Right.
That's just one of those things people don't talk about enough. That they're like they saw the text bubble, they saw the typing, and then it disappeared.
I mean,
having someone not answer.
We don't talk about that enough because, like, does it need to be talked about when we have a thought and then we stop?
About it.
Right.
I think all we do is talk about it. Honestly, that's like 99% of the content on the internet. Is like, oh, someone didn't answer me and the time that I deemed worthy, so now their relationship value has gone down. Bro, that mindset. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be real with you right here. So today, Joni had texted me, "I'm 20 minutes away. I'll be home," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And I did, she went out to do her thing. I don't really get in her space. I let her do her thing when it's just Joni, right? And when she told me 20 minutes, by like 30 minutes I'm like, all right, that's a little funky. Like, she normally would just like tell me like something happened. So I start calling her, and it like goes direct. It won't ring at this point. It won't like it just like it can't find her phone. So I set into panic at 35 minutes of not hearing from my wife. But that's because there's kind of an understanding between us, right? Like where we talk to each other pretty frequently in those manners, because we want to make sure we're okay. Like, okay, you're okay. You're not in an accident. You didn't get pulled over. We could be in 100 million things, right? But people with that unrealistic expectation of like needing someone to answer you, otherwise they're no longer worthy. It's like,
all right, see now, but here's the thing though. I feel like you just talked yourself out of your own point, because hear me out.
But I'm married, bro.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
About the mother of my children, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to raise these. Literally, bro, my brain went there. I'm gonna have to raise these children.
I'm saying,
I'm gonna have to plan a funeral. Like,
there's a person that you are 15 feet from at all times for the last decade, and they were gone for 35 minutes, and you had anxiety.
No,
damn well she's not going anywhere.
That's not what I said.
So imagine a person out here in the dating world.
That's not what I said. I said she was gonna be home in 20, and 35 minutes had gone by, and I heard, and her phone was not
15
answering.
minutes.
She was not answering.
Minutes.
15 minutes late.
There was no dial tone. Yeah, 15 minutes late. Like okay, like when you call somebody and it won't connect. Like it's not just somebody like, like screening your number. Like it just won't
when
connect.
Your phone, when it's not ringing.
My brain went to the darkest places. I was like, oh fuck.
The phone is off. The phone is destroyed in an accident.
So here's what happens. Here's what happened. 35 minutes went by. Boom. An hour and 15 minutes went by. And she finally got, I finally got a hold of her. Something happened with her phone. She was trying to give me a call back during that, and it wasn't working. So, but still, like, you know what I'm saying? She got caught behind an accident. Life happens. You get worried, though. I get it.
Yeah.
But you, like, dating someone and, like, then, like, I remember this one girl, like, I didn't date. I was fooling around with. And, I was an EMT at the time. And I had a Motorola, like phone. It wasn't like I wasn't texting on that bitch, nothing. Like there was nothing happening on that. And she had a sidekick, and she was like trying to like send me messages, and I'm like not really paying attention to them because I'm working. And I'm working in a job you want the person not to be on the phone on. Like,
yep.
You really don't want like your EMT on the phone unless they're finding out how to help you. Like. There's no reason for that EMT to be on the phone. So I remember her getting mad at me, like, you better answer your phone next time quicker. I was like,
bitch, what? I'm working.
I'm working with people. I'm not. It's not like I'm working in front of a desk all day, wondering, what I do now. Like, basically, it's just like just watching TV.
I'm working, and my fucking job is important.
Exactly. Like, why are you?
But see. Let me just help you understand real quick.
No. Don't rationalize
I feel like
this.
you should sympathize. It's you had anxiety because your wife was gone for X amount of time, whatever. Now, when somebody says in the dating world, "Oh, well, they didn't answer me," it's still anxiety. They're just packaging it different and not saying, "Oh, I was worried about this person." They're saying, "No, I'm worried about me getting hurt."
This perception.
Really there was realistically there was no real danger, right? Like, exactly where she was, where she was coming from. How much could have really happened on whatever Walmart trip she was on? How much really could have happened in the time?
Well, quite a lot. I mean, literally, she was 45 minutes away.
There's always like the idea of, God forbid, a car accident.
Exactly.
Like you're driving.
Most people get into accidents 10 miles from their home. Like,
yeah, but you live you're in a very safe vehicle. Should have been all right. I crashed my Honda Civic on purpose and lived unscathed. Okay. I've actually been in 3 car accidents
for insurance, allegedly.
Good thing I don't have insurance, but
allegedly.
3 car accidents. Allegedly, I've been in 3 car accidents in regular vehicles and been. I'm just saying, if you do the math in your big ass family vehicles, she's probably not going to get that harmed unless like 2 cars come from either side of the highway and smash into her. There's a very little chance she'll be a super hurt in a car accident.
What do you want me to do? Do you want to like run the probability when my wife is not answered in an hour and 15 minutes? Like,
I'm just saying
there's
the
been
point
no
is,
communication. Like
The point is that
worried
like it was a very
when somebody
minimal
tells-
chance that she was even
Shut-
remotely hurt, and you
She
still got
said,
anxiety.
"I'm
So if
20
a
minutes
person gets
away."
anxiety in the field dating, and they just say, "Fuck it, I can't deal with this anxiety because this person doesn't answer me frequently enough," I understand.
No, I don't think so. I think in the dating world, you're gonna have to accept a little non-communication every now and then. I think we have to understand. There's cues. I know, a little risky for everyone.
I think in the dating world now, you should set the expectation of your communication style.
Right.
What I like to do is I like to tell people my work schedule. Hey, I'm probably not going to talk to you between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. But if I do, no, I'm fucking with you. You know what I mean? Right. If I'm recording this podcast, I'm going to let you know. If I'm at the gym, I'm going to tell you my gym schedule. I'm going to let you know. And then all the like, I think that's just a courtesy you should give to really anybody you text frequently or text frequently. You're dating, you work with. You know, just let them know your schedule and what you're all about. I think you should set that expectation right out the gate. Now, if I say I work 8 to 4 and you are blowing me up like from 12 to 4 nonstop on some like crazy shit, then okay, fuck you. But if it's like,
that's what I'm talking about.
If you know I'm not doing anything from 5 to 7, and then like you're hitting me up and I'm not saying anything, the chances are I'm probably not that interested. If I didn't even like give you like
that's a different take, right? So we're talking about somebody who's absolutely interested and versus someone who, you know, is just playing your time. And I get why people can be protective over that, but at the end of the day, like if you have somebody who has their own life, like you're gonna have to accept that sometimes you're not the number one priority, even if you're in a committed relationship. You're gonna have to realize
it's not even about priority. It's just about because you might be the number one priority to somebody, but their communication style is just different. Some niggas just don't like to text all day, and if a nigga likes to text all day, and you do, and like when I've been in situations where it's like when I meet up with somebody, it's amazing, and then when I'm not around them, they're annoying as fuck. Like I just don't want to. I've been in that situation. They blow me up constantly, and it's like I'm working a 12-hour shift. Like I don't want to hear from you right now.
Personally, I find it difficult to like balance being present in a situation or like when I'm out and communicating with people consistently. Like it gets tough because it's hard to focus on multiple things. Like especially when I go out, you know, like
we're a different generation also, honestly. Like, you know, like there's people like there's iPad kids, right? Like like they're growing up.
I mean, I'm a
like,
MySpace kid.
But you're not an iPad kid. You didn't have the untethered internet in front of you at 2. Like you learn the interwebs in your teens, my son. Don't forget that.
I text as like second nature. So like a texting all day situation. Same. But I'm also of the mindset that like I can stop doing that and be like, hey, by the way, work's gonna be busy today.
Yeah. So like I resonate with what Joey says, right? Like, you know, like I don't like when people pull out their phones to like take pictures of what they're about to eat, or you know, they take pictures to like kind of disrupt the vibe, you know, like oh, everyone smile, hug, everyone like it kind of gets on my nerves, right? But I do understand why people do these kind of things and why they text or why they call and they're on it, you know, the kind of, you know, stimulation we need. But I think it's ultimately I think it's rude. Like I think it's like if you're at something that maybe you shouldn't be on your phone, like, you know, someone's party, a barbecue, chill out with them. Just have a good time, you know?
Nah, take them flicks, baby. Take them flicks. You know what's funny? Man, I actually heard a very opposite take the other day that I loved. This girl posted, she's like, I love that we're in the part of time where if you're about to take a picture in the mirror, like a mirror selfie, people now will stop and wait for you to take the picture before they walk past, as opposed to like 5 years ago where they would just walk past, or you would be too embarrassed to take the selfie because you don't want to be the selfie. Now it's like we're in this situation where you're taking a mirror selfie, and either there's somebody next to you taking a selfie, or they're stopping for you. I like that. I like that era.
Yeah.
You know what I hate though, and this is like old school thing. I hate like when people are like, And this is like an old school thing. This isn't even like new school. This is like when people say, everybody stop and let's take a group photo together. I hate that. If we're at an event and all of us have phones, let's just all take pictures from different angles and capture like cool candids of us laughing and shit. I don't want to stop what we're all doing so we could all take the same 8 pictures on 8 different phones. Yo, take it on my phone. Take the group pic on my phone. Take the group pic on my phone. No, you could have taken pictures all night.
That is a party killer, bro. When people start passing around the flick, like everyone's like, nah, look at me, like, please don't do that. We don't need that many things. Like, we've got way too many people in this photo in the first place. We don't need to figure out where to stare at for the next 30 minutes.
And then be like,
I don't know.
shit.
I love a good group
you
picture.
got to get in the front because you're taller, or you're in the back because you're taller. I hate that. Like, just take a bunch of random candids of everybody at the function.
But sometimes
and
you
let's all
need
exchange candids.
you need the complete organization. Like if you're honoring something, like if like it was an award ceremony, or for like the choir, their show, and stand up.
Also, I feel like I love that, but also I feel like too, after a certain amount of people, if you don't have a professional photographer, like if there's 30 people,
you gotta chill.
For what? For what? There's
chill.
no amount of
You gotta
sideways you can turn that iPhone to capture accurately all 30 of these people, especially if they're all the same race and color. Who's who? They're dots. If it's like 9 people, I think 9's the cutoff, right? 9 slim people. Can't be too big.
Ooh,
9 slim guys. You get the sideways, you're good.
So wait. So what's the limit? So if we have somebody on an iPhone Pro with a gimbal, is that cool? Or are we going like GoPro and up? And like what's
you got a gimbal with an iPhone Pro Max? I don't know. I feel like you might be doing your thing.
I feel like you're valid, bro. I feel like you're a little valid now. And that's how technology has advanced. And we're definitely getting contact lenses with HUDs. Ha ha ha.
And then we're gonna be no group photos because we can just blink and take the photos now.
That's scary.
Or we just stare at all the cameras around us. Like
bro, the Black Mirror episode.
All the ones we have.
With all the memories?
Yeah,
do you remember that episode with the memories?
I just finished the Black Mirror season, the 6th season. I'm on the last episode today. They had one with Jesse Pinkman and
I stopped watching Black Mirror a long time ago, man. Because
that shit is tight. I love Black Mirror.
It is.
Black Mirror is awesome.
And I gotta take it in doses.
Oof, it is strong, bro.
I never actually watched
social meter thing. Wait, what? Watch it,
bro.
Watch it. You'll have a good time.
It'll fuck you up, man. You gotta be careful.
Is there like a new season out right now? I keep seeing people talk about it.
Yeah, there is.
Really?
There is. It's a brand new season that just dropped.
Wow. What are the
literally
chances?
like a day ago. And so I caught it. It's really good. Like the cast that gets on there is crazier every year, right? Because like Black Mirror is Emmy Award winning. It's like one of those things that's like almost like a social kind of like moment that we experience, that everyone starts to kind of murmur about it, or maybe quite a few people around you do. Black Mirror is awesome. It's our generation's Twilight Zone. It's our generation's Outer Limits. It's our generation's Alfred Hitchcock. It's looking at doom and the way we can end, and all the ways that the future is kind of scary, and even the past is kind of scary when we look at it. It is creative. It's an anthology series, so if you want to watch something, dude, you got 6 seasons to watch. They're not long episodes. They're not long seasons. They're like 8 episodes, 5 episodes. So you're not going to be like wasting tons of time. But some of them are long. They're like an hour and a half.
Don't binge too much, bro. It'll take you to some weird dark places.
Bro, so dark. So dark. So do you know what the reference to the Black Mirror is?
No.
I mean, I know it's a show about technology going wild. Spice Channel type
It's
shit.
your phone screen. So it's your phone screen. It's your phone screen when it turns off your smartphone. And we bring it back to advancing technology. Look at that. I am so good. How do I draw it all back? Bro, that's really what it is. So if you ever looked at the title, or even like, maybe some of the art around it, and it looks like a cracked screen, it's a cell phone. And it's because we're looking at the Black Mirror, right? Where we're looking at the device that kind of reflects to us, and we stare at all day, and we're kind of becoming so attached to. And that's what the show kind of explores different ways we take on technology, we exploit it, we use it. They have all kinds of good questions, like how, if consciousness is a person, like all kinds of good questions.
So basically, the Outer Limits, but in 2023.
Yeah,
in the 17s
or 21, whenever it aired. 2019, I think it came out.
Yeah, I think whenever. It's been a little while. They've been out for a little bit, but the 6th season, it just came out. Jesse Pinkman's in it. Like I said, he was. That episode's intense, dude. This is spoiler free. Watch it, because that was crazy. Yeah, a lot of questions, a lot of good questions. Is all I'm saying. A lot of good questions. Some episodes are weird. I think the season was a little like hit and miss, and I think that's where people were at. But it's a good show to watch. Love Black Mirror. Little love letter. Look at that. We're gonna end the episode.
Right, we'll end it there with the fire Black Mirror recommend.
Oh no, it's really good. Like, really do watch it. But anyway, it is the National Meat Treasure. We drop episodes every Thursday. Remember to like, subscribe, comment on the videos, hit that bell for notifications. All of you beautiful people that comment and talk to us, Late for Church, Marzipan, I don't know who else out there. You should comment on there so I can shout you out. Let me say your name out live, like if you want to do that. Let's get a convo going, because y'all are getting funnier. And I love just the real react kind of like commentary. It's good. It's good. It's good for me. It's good for you.
It's good for me. It's good for you. It's good for everyone. And follow me at thin.cruel.lips on TikTok and Instagram, and at National Meat Treasure on TikTok and Instagram, and at NMT Pod on Facebook. I feel like I wanted Facebook fame like 3 episodes ago. I feel like Facebook is really dying now. I feel like it's dying way more than the last time.
It's dead. It's dead. Instagram Reels is where it's at right now, only because TikTok is on the edge of figuring out what the fuck it's gonna do from now on. But Facebook Reels is non-existent. I feel like that's gonna shut down really soon.
wow.
Like, they're just gonna it's gonna be just meta Reels. Like, we're gonna call it one thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, follow me at Saint Thrillah on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok, and I think that's all of the social medias that I have. Probably on Tumblr too. It's probably still back there.
Yo, send us some crypto coins. If you're worried about us,
Yeah.
send us your Doge. Send us your Shiba Inu. Send us your Charizard coin. Whatever it is, send it to us. We'll take it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
take it.
Bye. I guess I forgot that we were saying goodbye. Bye.
Man, I'm on this 303 baby timing, man. Hey, yo, Thriller, man, what we doing, gang? Hunters coming and make sure that paper go